Howaal Hudur Mankhura. No, we don't think that we don't think that it's a better city than Hudur is. All the Somali cities, we think Hudur is the city. So we also share that one. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues and friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's my pleasure to be here today with you and address an issue which is very pertinent to us as Somalis and to the world, I think, in general, which is the issue of peace. I would, however, like to first, before I go into my talk, I would like first to salute the diaspora community, the diaspora Somalis who are coming from all over the world, which is very, very, very fascinating, which makes me also so proud of the Somali diaspora, that I'm one of them, coming to this meeting from all over the continents to share their ideas and contribute what next, what we can do for our people. We have people who are coming from Australia, people who are coming from Southeast Asia, from the Middle East, from many, many countries in Europe, from the United States of America, from Canada, from all over the world. So that really makes me feel that we, the diaspora, we really have some concern, and we think that we can contribute something for this endeavor, which is the peace. I must also express my profound gratitude to my friends of PDR, Peace and Development Research, who are based in London, particularly my brother Salah Shekshman, my brother Abdulrazak Sheikh Muhyiddin, and my brother Abdulrashid Haji Hassan. The PDR, in fact, without them, I think this wouldn't have been possible. They are the dynamo behind this gathering. And I also have a center, which is called Center for Peace Building Initiative. I contributed a little, or even my presence here, and my daughter, you don't know me today, that's my daughter. We all come also for this, and our Center for Peace Building Initiative also contributed a lot for this endeavor. Peace, ladies and gentlemen, is very essential to all beings. To Somali life, peace is paramount, without which life will be unbearable. In fact, some Somalis, they say, NABADDA. In fact, Professor Virginia Luling, who is our president here, is also an honor for us, edited just volume last year, which is entitled NABADDA, which is Milk and Peace. In fact, Ano being the primary dish for the Somali nomad, without Nabad, I mean, he or she cannot enjoy Ano. I mean, they cannot just even have their primary dish without peace. It shows you how so significant that peace is to our culture as Somalis. Our daily greetings, we go like this. NABADDA, which means, are you at peace? And the answer would be, Mahad Allah, thank Lord, or thank Allah. Therefore, peace is really a prerequisite for the way, our livelihood. In fact, in today's world, we hear lots of, for instance, people who are into developmental issues, where they are questioning whether development will be the first or peace will be the first. Which comes first? From the Somali perspective, I think peace is the first. You cannot have any development without having peace. How you can promote it? For the last over 20 years, there has been efforts by Somalia to bring about peace to our country. Over 20 years. These efforts was regional, national, maybe Horn of Africa, international. We have heard lots of even Somali international peace and reconciliation conferences, which took mostly outside of the country. All of these conferences, all of these efforts, they were attempting to bring about a comprehensive peace. Our Somali peace efforts, they were all talking about we have to have the whole nation. In fact, each of these efforts were represented by the entire nation. Most were hosted by friendly nations, neighboring nations, supported by Somalis, including ourselves, those who are in the diaspora, supported by the international community. Whoever loves us, whoever cares about us, they were all supporting these peace initiatives. All these efforts, unfortunately, or let me say most of these efforts, failed. We were expecting, we had a great expectation for every Somali peace meeting. We were all saying this should be the last chance we have. In fact, Ambassador Sahnoun, if you remember, Nigerian ambassador who was there in the early 90s, he wrote a book called Somalia is the Missed Opportunity. We were always saying, well, this is our opportunity. We have to make it right now. But unfortunately, most of us were really disappointed. I would like to share with you some of the reasons why these peace efforts failed. There are many, of course, but let me go over quickly a couple of them. Number one of the major reasons for the failure of these peace efforts was ignoring local or indigenous traditions. All these efforts, nobody ever applied what do we know the best. You know, our local hair. Somalis, we have very strong, deep hair, which really works for the time of peace and times of war both. We are Muslims, our religious traditions, again, complement with our hair, or both hair and religion, they complement each other. None of these really powerful elements were used in making peace for Somalia. Was this the first time Somalis were at odds? I don't think so. Was it the first time that we ever had even clan, what we call warfare? I think Somalis have been always fighting throughout their history. I'm a historian, I know different levels. Maybe we are using different technologies. You know, one time we were using Warren and maybe Huraaw rather than Kalashnikovs and some other technologies. But we have been always at odds. We will find in our tradition many sayings like, "All NABADDA kudumboyes." All NABADDA kudumboyes, which is every war gives peace. It happens, but yeah, at the end of a war, there must be a peace. NABADDA nasl nugale. It is only peace that can give you milk, the milk of the children. Without peace, you cannot have milk. So, in many Somali traditions, if such atrocities takes place, we have even very simple mechanism to sort out this problem. Seven is a symbol. It's a symbolic thing. If I put on your head tusbah, the beads that when we pray we calculate how many times I'm saying Allah. If I put that beads on you, you will be satisfied. You won't be where you were before. Once I give you that savan, you can close, even if I kill your brother. I haven't seen in any of these peace efforts that some even clans give surveillance to any clan. And we know that clans were killing each other, right? So why? I mean, I'm questioning the lack of using the indigenous aspects of our peacemaking has never been used. You are using United Nations models, some African models, some Islamic models, which is not really deeply rooted to our culture. I would prefer if I use the local one. And it would have solved, I believe, lots of things. Number two, I believe that there was a lack of trustworthy participants. All of these places that people were meeting, nobody ever sorted out who, even supposed to be a clan, who will represent my clan? Do I send to the conference a person who is questioned, who some Somalis might think he is a criminal of a kind? How I can send somebody who will, in fact, give bad image to my even own city or clan? In a societies where such a civil atrocities takes place, we have to really clear first who is who's wrong, who made the wrong. Once we sort out, then we have some representations that really can represent and can bring about peace. Law and order. We haven't even tried, after the collapse of the states, after the Civil War, we all assumed we are okay and let's make a government right now, without thinking, without talking about what has happened, what went wrong with the government that we had before. I think nations who have experienced like ours, they all went in a process where, first and foremost, I have to know who is the guilty and who is the wrong one. The bystanders as well as the criminals we have to think of. Even today, the whole world is talking about we have to try some people, we have to bring them to court, to justice. You know, I don't think that Liberia would have been in this order unless Charles Taylor was tried. I don't think that unless Milosevic was taken from East Europe, Yugoslavia wouldn't have been sorted out. Why we thought that we are all angels? I don't know. How can that happen? Hundreds of thousands. In some regions, people think that 250,000 died, and they think that they were killed. So I would have thought that if we have went through this justice way, maybe Somalia's reconciliation would have been different. Third, I think that there is impartial or disinterested mediators. Those who are making mediation for us, they were not really genuine mediators. They were after some of their own personal interests. In Hudur, we say, "Habar lampalaw mal." What's the word? If you are interested in the hands of this young lady here, you want to marry, and you are asking her hands from somebody who himself is interested in the girl, you will never get that. Right? He will refuse. He will make all kinds of excuses. Right? Those who went through negotiations, they were all interested in how to become the president of this nation, how you become the prime minister of this nation, how you make something out of it. So in that regard,
Leadership.